Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. Andy's got issues.
Sam, Jenny Lewis is head of the Department of Motor Vehicles. That's the agency everybody loves to hate. We're going to talk to her this morning and find out, are we giving driver's licenses to illegal aliens? Sam?
And sparks will fly on the Power Pundit panel today. Mary Lau, Chris Wicker, Alfredo Alonso, and the ever-calm Howard Rosenberg. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8. Lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1. Have some fun. Lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp. Have a sip. Try the pool. Play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino. Lucky you. Yeah!
The biggest risk your company can take.
Well, Barbara, you did very well on your interview.
Hiring employees can help your business get to the next level.
And your resume looks outstanding.
And it can also expose you to corporate crimes and costly lawsuits that can bring your company to its knees.
So, we'd like to offer you a position.
Before you hire another employee, hire the professionals at Employer Links. Call today to get our free CD-ROM, The Top 8 Risk of Hiring Employees.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're joined by Ginny Lewis. She's the head of the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. We all know that organization. Good morning.
Jenny, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, let me ask you the burning issue right off the top. Do illegal aliens get driver's licenses in Nevada?
Andy, no, they don't. Governor Davis did say that he mirrored Nevada in his decision for signing that bill in California. Nevada does not license illegal immigrants. In fact, our standards for the documents that we require to prove your identity are very, very high. We're very strict on that. And just to quickly explain, when this law goes into effect in California, all it means for Nevada is that if you come here from California, we will ask for additional documentation instead of just taking that driver's license at face value, which is currently how our law reads. But we were the law.
How are you going to pull that one off? Isn't that a little discriminatory?
No, the law changed. In fact, it was Speaker Perkins' bill, the Homeland Security bill, that effective January 1, we can ask any person coming in from another state whose standards are less than ours for additional documentation. So it's not targeting California, it's any other state where...
All right, so what else do people... Do we need to put up a sign on the entryways to Nevada saying...
And we
if you're
probably
coming
will.
In here, you know, you need to have 3 forms
Absolutely.
of ID.
Be prepared. We will ask you for the following forms of identification. Birth certificate. They'll have their immigration documentation. So the impact on Nevada is still, it's too soon to tell.
Are you going to accept that consular card?
No, we're not. Okay. That is not meant to be a form of identification. We've worked with the Mexican consulate on that. We will not accept it as a form of identification. That's very, very important.
Okay, so you're...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, is your legal department ready for lawsuits? I mean, it's not going to be the migrant, it's going to be the legitimate Hispanic American that comes into the state and then is hassled for additional ID.
Well, first of all, they're not going to be hassled. Secondly, if they're here legally and if they have the proper documentation, we will license them.
Right, but no, all I'm saying is, but if somebody gets stopped by the police, for example, we're not accepting this singular form of ID. Is that what we're saying?
The Mexican consular card?
No, I mean a California driver's license from somebody who is an illegal alien, but you don't know.
No,
if
she's talking about if they come in to get a Nevada driver's license.
Only if they come to get a Nevada driver's license.
Correct.
Right.
Okay, so we're not dealing with stuff.
Currently, you can walk into our office today from any other state with that license, and we accept that at face value. We don't ask for any other documentation, but our laws are changing as well, effective January 1. So we will be able to request that additional.
All right, so somebody moves here from California and they come in to get a driver's license. They discover they have to go back and get their birth certificate or whatever. And I think it's anybody, Sam, not just Hispanic.
No,
American.
I understand that, but I'm just picking on the most obvious group.
All right, so and let's say this is a wealthy person, okay, and they get pretty upset because they have to go back and come back and stand in line again, and this will increase the lines, won't it?
It will increase the lines. I think it's going to be our responsibility to get the message out. A couple things. One, that we're not trying to profile or discriminate against anybody. 2, get the information. This is what you need before you come to the office. We'll probably expand on the website because that's such a wonderful source of information for the public, so that they can be as prepared as possible the minute they come in. I don't want them to come back twice. You're right, Andy. It's going to back up the lines, and that's the last thing we need.
Are you working with INS on this? I mean, for example, if somebody comes in, they don't have any backup proof beyond...
INS is able to give them the documentation too.
No, but I mean, would you be turning people into INS if they weren't able to come up with additional documentation?
No, we will not do that.
So they would not be?
No.
All right, let's talk about...
There are some who think you should, but...
Let's talk about senior citizen drivers. Should we be looking, after the incident most recently in Southern California, at better testing as people get older? And I'm not suggesting any particular age limit. It might be, judging by some of the drivers I passed on the road this morning, 35 would be a good time to start testing.
First, let me clarify. The statute does not allow us to test based on age. So additional testing that we do is when law enforcement notifies us that they've observed a driver, and we would recall them for an examination, or a doctor will send in a letter saying that this patient should be re-examined. The current laws allow us for elderly people who renew by mail, once they turn 71, they're required to submit a vision test from the optometrist and a letter from a doctor. So there is that requirement, but we would treat them the same as any other driver. If they came into our office and we noticed something that would lead us to believe that maybe they weren't safe to operate a vehicle, we have that right to take them out for a drive. And older drivers and that time when you have to give that license up, it's a very tough issue. It's hard for people to face that. And I think it's important that they realize that, we're concerned about their safety. They also have to think about the safety of others on the road. And I would hate for an older driver who maybe should have given that license up to have an accident and be faced with a liability. It's a tough issue.
Okay, let's say you have a parent that you really are worried about your parent being on the road, and you've argued with them and they won't give up their driver's license. Is there a way they can call you and have you get in touch without the child, the parent knowing that the child turned them in?
Again, we can't base it on the family member, but we will encourage them, get a letter from the doctor. If we can get that, then we can recall that driver and say, come in, let us test you. Something else we try to do is we can limit the area that they drive. Older drivers, they don't want to be on the freeways, but they do have a need to get to their doctor, to the grocery store, to the post office, and to church. So we'll take them on a drive for that area that they're very familiar with. At least it restricts them to a familiar area, which is important, keeps them away from freeways, which they're happy to do.
Can you encourage them to go the speed limit instead of 10 miles under the speed limit?
which is another hazard.
Last question for you here. Did you get enough money from the legislature to accommodate the growth you're going to see in your business over the next 4 years, or next 2 years, I should say?
We are a highway funded agency, so we didn't face the same challenges that the general fund was faced. We do have some funding limitations, so we did have a few problems during session. Overall, the legislature was great in funding us for the staffing we need. We'll be able to staff our windows 100% coverage, which is important for us. They also recognize that technology is part of our solution, so we were funded for some great projects that we're implementing in Las Vegas, and it'll be also in Washoe County.
Ginny, Lewis, so much. Thank you so much for being here. We
Thank you.
appreciate it, and we'll be back right after this on Nevada Newsmakers.
Thank you.
Experience adrenaline with Curtis Adams. Watch him defy modern science with amazing acrobatics and sexy show-stopping effects that'll make your pulse race. Adrenaline. It's a new kind of magic. One night only, September 27th, live at the Pioneer.
Adrenaline. Curtis Adams. Magic that rocks.
It's hot.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at DeAndrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South DeAndrea Parkway in Sparks.
Welcome to Sushi Club, best sushi in town. The Sushi Club in Independence Square used the best quality products. The sushi is dynamite, and the service is just wonderful.
The Sushi Club is bigger and better. We have 11 sushi chefs on staff, and the service is great.
All your friends will tell you that Sushi Club is the best place for the best sushi.
Come join us for lunch or dinner.
The Sushi Club, 294 East Moana Lane in the Independence Square.
Now that's great sushi.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Sikh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we've got quite the pundit panel today. Alfredo Alonso joins us. Chris Wicker, the nationally syndicated, oh no, it was just quoted, lawyer here. Mary Lau with the Retail Association, and Howard Rosenberg. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you all here. Alfredo, you've been overhearing people having comments about UNLV. I was kind of curious if you want to share those comments with Professor Rosenberg.
Oh, with respect to, I believe it was U.S. News that came out and called it one of the bargain schools of the country, which obviously is good for numbers, clearly.
It is a bargain. And the state's higher education is a bargain. Compared to other places in the country, our kids are really doing really well. The problem is that most of our kids are coming from low-income families, so it's as difficult for them to make it as it is for other families to make it in other states.
But let me ask you, your point though was that it wasn't, they weren't looking at it as a great school, they were looking at it as a bargain school. Is that what you were inferring?
Right. I mean, I think obviously that's something that we're still dealing with. I think in terms of perception. I think that's Nevada in general, though. And I think Howard probably can agree with that.
I'll do it subtly. U.S. News and World Report, the people that write that are a bunch of idiots anyway, so who cares? The kids in this state get one of the best educations that you can get anywhere. I live in the system, and I have for almost 40 years. I know how good it really and truly is. And our kids really have a rough time because most of them work. The average age of our students in the university is about 27 or 28. You know, the 19-year-older is not the traditional student anymore. And in community college, it's 36 and 37 years old. So our population continues to go to school, which is dynamite. And UNLV provides a dynamite education. Not quite as good as UNR. I'm sorry, I had to say that because I'd get shot when I went back. Two first-rate universities, and we're damn lucky.
Okay, fine. Otherwise it becomes commercial. You got to pay.
All right.
General Wesley Clark gets into the race for the Democrats on the national level for president. He's never run for anything. What do you make of this, Chris?
He's run for his life.
You know, frankly, I think the field is just getting way too crowded. I mean, yes, Wesley Clark, I think, is highly regarded as a general, but what else has he done? And it's not enough to be a general, as we well know. Bush wasn't either a general or otherwise a good administrator. Look what's happened to the country. So I just think, I think Wesley Clark as a good general does not necessarily make him a good president. With all the economy is going to be one of the biggest issues to be dealt with. And what does Wesley Clark say about the economy? He's probably a very fine guy, but I think the field is getting too crowded, and I don't think Wesley Clark is going to last the race.
I think you're incorrect. I think he deals a blow to Howard Dean. Howard Dean is now no longer the only guy who hasn't been in politics, the only outsider.
He was a governor.
Excuse me. What I meant was outsider. And now Kerry's now not the only military guy. You've got a guy that's coming from outside the system. You've got a guy who's got military experience who opposed Iraq. You've got a guy that I think brings something to the table that no one else does. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the guy, but he certainly brings something to the table, and he's going to be competitive.
Well, he brings something to the table, but I don't know if he brings enough to the table.
But I think he hurts the people in the race.
Oh yeah,
I think he hurts Howard Dean. I think he hurts
Well, that's
Kerry,
why I say I think the field is getting too crowded. There's just too many people there to choose from. How are you going to choose? And if one person out of 10 gets chosen, a small group are choosing that one person out of 10.
Well, that was my first reaction. When I heard the announcement, I went, I don't think the public wants another Eisenhower. And it's not even the same set of circumstances anymore. We were coming out of a war, we were rebuilding, he was a hero. I agree with Alfredo, though. I think he's going to cause some problems with the mix. And tapping on what you said, it's too big of a field now. The Democrats have money flying everywhere.
I don't disagree. He won't cause, he will cause problems for the other candidates, but that doesn't make me happy. I don't want him to have problems.
But I don't really see him as a viable presidential candidate. I see him as a viable muck-up-the-works candidate.
I think President Bush's campaign is probably very pleased right now. Yeah. I think this is very helpful to them.
I do find it interesting how many military people at this point, especially retired military, are coming on the airways on the news networks and talking about how dissatisfied they are with the way that the war is being conducted in Iraq.
Well, can you blame them? I mean, look at the way the war is being conducted in Iraq. I'm not a general, and I'm dissatisfied. So how, if you look at what's going on in Iraq, particularly the lack of planning, the horrible lack of planning for the peacetime. I mean, everybody knew we would win, but the horrible lack of planning for the peacetime, how can they be satisfied at all?
Okay, Mary, I want to bring this up to you. The president wants to spend $87 billion on the effort in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I've just kind of been using this as a running theme over the last week or so since he made the announcement that, I have no problem with us putting that money in there. But if we have found this $87 billion, we're now going to be running $500 billion deficit over the next year. Why are we not spending more money at home to take care of some of the problems? Because, I mean, I'm not saying don't spend that $87 billion. I'm saying, well, maybe another $20 billion would help here. I mean, gee, $1 billion to every state would only be $50 billion, and that would have solved our whole budget crisis.
Well, yeah, but I don't think federal tax dollars are necessarily diverted to state tax dollars and stuff like that. As far as the $87 billion going over there, I think the exit plan wasn't that good, and I have to agree with it, though I support the effort over there. But I really feel that it's going to be constituent interests of other nations. Now, Tokyo has announced that they're going to do $1 million, which is a drop in the bucket. But your partners, that was the one thing about the George Senior's with our Desert Storm, his partners stayed involved longer. All of a sudden, we're carrying this by ourselves, and the desert, those people are good at the infighting. They're good at that attack and all the stuff that we're not that good at. I think that probably we're going to have to put the money in there, but I think we're going to have to develop an exit plan. We don't want to see another Vietnam, and it's not similar, but we're going to have to support the efforts that's there. And you're right, Sam, at the same time, we're going to have to look at funneling the money properly somewhere else. I mean, the economy's coming back and everything else, but, you know, governments don't make money. People make money, and they keep bringing more of it out of the economy for tax purposes.
You know, Mary has a good point, because that $87 billion, which is going to be $100 billion, and I don't think we see the end of it, is going to kill this economy, and unless something changes. But how do you bring the international world
You know, it's not going to kill the economy. What it's going to do is it's going to saddle your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren with a debt that they're going to have to pay off. We have to take a break. We'll come right back.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Today's lesson, another reason to take the Gold Rush Club Card Challenge. With the Gold Rush Card, you really have 3 cards in one. Use your cash back. You still keep your comps and drawing tickets. Use your comps. You still keep your cash and drawing tickets. And with your drawing tickets, you could win thousands in cold hard cash every week. And still keep your cash back and comps. Does your club add up? Graduate to the Gold Rush Players Club. It's the smart thing to do. The Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo Free Checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Okay, the clock is ticking here. We've got about 3:30 left in the show with our pundit panel here. Let's see what I want to pick on. I mean, what I want to talk to here. Chris, Supreme Court reaffirms its decision where they said that education needed to come first and a simple majority was necessary.
You know, the Supreme Court has taken a lot of heat for that, but I do have to give them credit for making a decision. And it was a hard decision, and I read their opinion. And they make a good legal point. I mean, you can disagree with their point, but they make a good legal point that if you look at the Constitution, education comes first, and it wasn't being funded. And so, you know, the folks that want to now do government by recall and now recall the Supreme Court, you know, that's just not right. That's not the way to conduct government. But it was a good decision.
That's one of the things that really infuriates me, because we don't deal with issues. We deal with personalities. We deal with people. People get angry at people. They don't get angry at what they should be getting angry at, which is the issues that we can really fix if we'll just deal with the issues. But we give an opinion that nobody likes. Right, it's the person. No, it's not the person. Look at the issues and how they came about. You may not agree with them, but that's the thought process that we should be dealing with,
but
not personality.
Mary, you get to go next. But the public, you know, voted for this thing, this tax initiative, twice. It was passed. There's a lot of people still very upset. Mary?
Well, nobody expected them to reverse their decision. I think it's just a legal step that has to be done. But I'm sorry, the decision is a text of circumlocution. They just go round and round and round. You know, they never got to the point, never got to the issue. They just justified what they were going to do. And I guess some people could arguably say that's what a legal opinion is.
Well,
but it was just...
I would say they got to the issue. They got to the point and they made a decision. and that decision broke the logjam, and that's not the purpose of the Supreme Court.
They answered a question that wasn't asked.
But I think at the end of the day,
they do that at times.
None of us have the experience or in the position to second guess them. I mean, I disagree. I happen to personally disagree.
We can second guess them. It doesn't mean to say we have the knowledge.
But at the end of the day, they did what they did under the auspice of trying to understand the process and the Constitution. I can't begrudge them doing the best they can.
I think it was really courageous to do it.
Well, remember, the governor threw this in their lap. It wasn't something that they picked and ran with on their own. The governor threw this in their lap, and they made a reasoned decision under the Constitution, which people can disagree with, but it was reasoned.
It's also unconstitutional to go beyond the 120 days.
That's what the governor says.
So at the end of the day, I'm not so sure who broke.
Well, at the end of the day, it was caused by that group of 15 people that blocked the legislature.
Oh, political speech.
It is political speech. Those 15 people caused it.
This is a democracy. Sometimes it's messy, but that's what it is.
Absolutely.
And it's the best system that there is.
I can still point fingers.
Of course we can.
At those 15.
That's part of being a democracy.
No, it's more.
I love it.
That's what I believe. That's what I believe.
You have the right to your opinion, even if it is wrong. That's what I've always said.
Does anybody want the last word?
I think Howard really gets a good one.
Folks, I just want to let everybody know that there was a release in the newspaper today that says gaming in Southern Nevada is doing really, really well. Things are going good, and I'm delighted.
I hope it continues.
Yeah, we all do. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Big Apple Pizza, best pizza in Nevada, take one.
Today we're making homemade meatballs for a meatball parm. You like cheesesteak? I think you're like in South Philly right now. It's the best cheese ever made. Now that's how a Philly cheesesteak's supposed to look.
And here's little Cole.
This is authentic. We'll throw some pepperoni in here. Not gonna be shy about it. Yeah, I bet you guys didn't know I could do that. Don't skimp on the toppings. Authentic as it gets. Big Apple Pizza and Subs on the corner of Bering and McCarran, a New Jersey guy who knows how to make an East Coast pizza.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at DeAndrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South DeAndrea Parkway in Sparks.
Experience adrenaline with Curtis Adams. Watch him defy modern science with amazing acrobatics and sexy show-stopping effects that'll make your pulse race. Adrenaline. It's a new kind of magic. One night only, September 27th, live at the Pioneer.
Adrenaline. Curtis Adams. Magic that rocks.
It's hot.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
And these are the only ones left standing.
They ran everybody else off.
Yeah. Be with us on Monday when we talk to Senator Harry Reid.
See you then.